Morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. My name is Angelika Schlanger, and I am the Regional Public Health Specialist for 5 counties located in Southeast Florida and Southwest Florida. I'll be presenting today and sharing with you some things that I learned at a recent quarterly regional Parks and Rec meeting that I had the privilege to attend along with other FMP and Extension colleagues, as well as some ideas and examples of how FMP can engage in innovative and impactful collaborations with their county and city parks and rec divisions. And then Mike Swain, who's also a regional public health specialist, will follow and tell you about an innovative program that he's working on with his local parks and rec folks.
Hi, this is Mike. Thanks, Angelika. I gave her like 24-hour notice about this, so I appreciate her being here. And she was just telling us yesterday about some things she's working on that she's going to share here. So I think the point being here of this call is that the relationships that you all have in your counties are integral to making these things happen. But so hopefully this provides some context of an additional PSE opportunity when it comes to physical activity, and how working with this unique partner in a different sector will help us accomplish PSEs. So I'll let Angelika take it away here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Okay. Make sure. Okay. So as I mentioned last week, some of us FMP colleagues were invited to attend a regional Parks and Rec meeting here in the South District representing Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, and Martin counties. And so this was a regional Parks and Rec quarterly meeting, and they invited an extension, the CED agent from each of those counties, as well as an FMP representative. So we had the CED as well as Selena Ross, the food system specialist from Miami, myself, and CED and FCS agent Brenda Marty Jimenez from Broward. We had Ron Rice, the CED from Palm Beach, as well as the EPM Cindy Thomas. And in Martin, we had acting CED Yvette Gudiel and Natalie Parkel, the food system specialist. So we were really well represented at this meeting. And one key takeaway from this meeting with Parks and Rec was that the Parks and Rec agencies across the state are really making community health a priority, and that there is an increasing interest on their end to work with Extension as a whole, and particularly the family nutrition program, to attain this goal. And in fact, the stated goal of this meeting was how to scale up the role of Extension in Parks and Rec, and how to make it a best practice for both Parks and Rec and Extension to engage on a regular basis. So to illustrate this, I wanted to share this graphic with you that you see on your screen. And this graphic is from the FRPA website, and FRPA stands for the Florida Recreation and Park Association, which is just the state-level association that connects all the different Parks and Rec agencies across the state together and sets common goals and priorities for those agencies. And the executive director, Eleanor Warmack, was at this meeting, and she presented the mission of FRPA, which you see on the top of your screen, which is to establish parks and recreation as a cornerstone of health, economic development, environmental sustainability, and community throughout Florida. And so you see they have these 4 pillars that they're focusing on, and one of them is health, which of course is our focus, to have a positive impact on community health. And the retired director of Miami-Dade Parks was at this meeting. His name is Jack Hardis, and he stated that second only to the public school system, we care, meaning we, Parks and Rec, cares for more children for longer periods of time than any other organization. We are a logical partner in the fight to make Florida a healthier state, if not the healthiest state in the country. So this is something that they're really, this is a really great big overlap with the work that we do. And in fact, in 2015, in conjunction and partnership with the Florida DOH, the FRPA adopted a pledge called the State of Health and Wellness Pledge, and they got commitments from 85 agencies across the state. And this pledge includes different commitments such as boosting nutrition, providing nutrition education, increasing physical activity, and increasing access to locally grown foods as well within the parks system. And on the bottom of this slide, you see that link, and you can follow that link to, you'll see this graphic, and you'll be able to actually explore all of these 4 pillars further. And if you click on health, you'll see some more about the health pledge. So again, this is just this priority on Parks and Rec, especially in the last few years on health, is really opening some doors for us to engage in really innovative programming and impactful programming with them. So I thought I would just share some specific opportunities, ways that we can collaborate with Parks and Rec, and many of our counties are already doing a lot of the things on this slide, but these are just kind of some examples that you might want to further expand upon. So naturally, when it comes to direct education, we can be teaching at events that take place in parks, at the after-school senior programs and summer camps. I myself have been seeing more and more senior programs taking place at parks, and that's a great opportunity for us to come in and provide that nutrition education to seniors. Parks are also known for having really great and fun fitness programs for people of all ages, and so sometimes you might go into a park if you're a PA or a specialist and see some really great fitness programs going on, and maybe you can ask, is there a nutritional component to this? And if there's not, maybe you can offer that FMP can kind of come in and complement their fitness programming with some great nutrition education and food demos. In terms of PSCs, there's obviously a list of different PSCs that work really well and naturally within parks. Establishing walking clubs within parks, doing a fitness or steps challenge, and I'll give you a few very specific examples of these later on. Healthy vending and concession stands. I'm sure many of us have been in parks and seen that the quality of the food in vending and concession stands is pretty poor, so that's something that we can work on to improve those. We can do healthy food and fruit and vegetable distributions at the parks, especially if you partner with a local food bank or even a local farmer. Improving water access, and that graphic that you see is of one of the water dispensers that the public health team has a budget for on the state level. We have a limited budget, so we might be able to use that budget to buy a water dispenser. I myself delivered one to a local park here, a city park, and they were so pleased and excited to have this because yes, you know, most parks or all parks have water fountains on site, but sometimes they're in disrepair or they're not really working or they're kind of cruddy. And in fact, in this particular park, it was broken. And they have new senior programming going on and after school programming. So the parks manager was really thrilled to receive this. There is a form that if a specialist brings this dispenser or the PA or the EPM brings it to a park, there is a form that the manager or whoever the person is you're working with on site has to fill out just to say that they're responsible for cleaning and maintaining it. And of course, another great PSC opportunity are having community gardens in parks. And I love the comment, Lauren, that you mentioned FMP can offer nutrition education opportunities with the adult walking clubs. Absolutely, there's many options for great synergies.
Hey,
so I also wanted to list some more opportunities for collaboration that I learned about in this quarterly meeting that I mentioned earlier. So one of those being that extension folks and FMP staff might be able to attend these meetings. They're really just a great way to educate about extension and FMP. In some of our counties, the extension office sits within the Parks and Rec division. So there's some familiarity, but there is often a little bit of confusion. So just educating, answering their questions can take place during these meetings, and you can set up one-on-one meetings if the quarterly meeting is not a possibility to attend. And again, these meetings are a great opportunity to explore collaborations, to hear what everyone is working on, and also to brainstorm and think outside of the box. So for example, one of the parks directors from Palm Beach County was at this meeting, and she shared an innovative program that she's trying to do, which is they bought a couple of vans or small trucks, and they're going to have like a mobile fitness unit that they're going to take around to neighborhoods that don't really actually have access to safe parks. And they'll basically have like a little pop-up park and fitness going on in different areas. And so I asked her if there was a nutrition education component, and she said there wasn't. And so we talked about it, and she was thrilled that FMP could kind of step in to provide that, in addition to helping to ensure that if they serve any snacks or drinks during those events, that they'll be ones that are healthy and adhere to, USDA nutritional standards. Another opportunity that came up during this meeting was that Parks and Rec folks, as well as extension agents and even FMP staff, can co-publish together in the quarterly FRPA journal. And you remember those 4 pillars that I mentioned earlier? Well, each quarterly journal focuses on one of those 4 pillars. So when they're focusing on the health pillar, that could be a great opportunity to showcase what we're doing and creative partnerships between us. We also can co-write articles for extension websites or even Parks and Rec websites, promoting our successful collaborations and promoting events. This one might seem obvious, but it's not always done. Having a link to the extension website on your local Parks and Rec website and vice versa. And finally, sorry, there's an ambulance. Okay, and finally, co-presenting at conferences, task forces, and meetings. So now I'd just like to move on to some specific examples of PSEs that we can work on with Parks and Rec. And Mike will talk more about his engagement with Parks and Rec on this interesting initiative. So in Palm Beach County, they are promoting this initiative called RX for Parks, Prescription for Parks. And basically, as you see here, they have prescription pads that they created that they give to medical providers in the county. And this is the front of 2 different prescription pads. On the front, they have different messages, health messaging. So here are to maintain body weight and lower the risk of obesity and improve blood pressure and blood sugar levels. And then the medical provider can write in something more specific, like, 30 minutes of physical activity 5 times a week or something of that sort. That's specific to the patient. And then on the back, you have the list of all the county parks, and then the provider can check off those parks that are in the area of where the patient lives. And they have the Parks and Rec website for Palm Beach County on the bottom, so anyone can find out more information about their local parks and different events that are going on. Now, this is a healthy vending and healthy concession stand initiative, and I want to thank Mark Trujillo for sharing this with our public health team. And PASCO and PINELLAS, and perhaps other counties as well, they have an initiative called Fun Bites. And what Fun Bites is looking to do is to add healthy and affordable options to both vending machines and concession stands. And the goal here is not to eliminate those favorite items like pizza or anything of that nature. Or chips or something like that, but rather to enhance the menu by just giving more healthy options at a good price points. So they leverage the 4 Ps of selling to promote the sales of healthier items. So the first P is product. They're now offering products that fit. They made sure that each concession stand offers at least 5 or a minimum of 25% of snacks that meet certain nutritional standards that they set. In terms of promotion, they're using signage and this cute logo to promote healthier options. Pricing, they're really trying to make this affordable and even making the healthier options competitive price-wise with the less healthy options. And placement, you can even see here on this menu at the Slash's snack bar that some of the healthier items are on the top of the menu. And at concession stands, they're really trying to make sure that the healthier items are in front of the less healthy items and at eye level so that they have prominent placement. And thank you, Lauren. Yes, so Miami-Dade Extension is part of Parks and Rec, and as I mentioned, a lot of our extension offices do sit within Parks and Rec, and that's the case here in Broward as well. but sometimes it still helps to continue the conversation about here's what are the programs that we can, that we're offering and can be providing. Another example of a couple of PSC opportunities in St. Lucie, they are going to be launching a Billion Steps Challenge, which is a countywide fitness challenge in January. And it will last throughout the course of the year. And for those of you who were on the call a few months ago, Angelika from Brevard County had shared on our FNP call about their very successful countywide Mayor's Challenge. And so this is a great opportunity to work with both Extension, FNP, DOH, and Parks to promote getting people out there. They can sign up for free. They get free access to a tracking app. In this case, they're going to be tracking steps. You can also do a challenge where you track physical activity or other metrics. And they'll be having events at the parks and various community sites throughout the year to just get people coming out in a community-wide, friendly competition, and also offering free prizes and different free products and discounted membership and those sorts of things throughout the year. In addition, part of this program, but also it's a standalone, are parks walking groups in St. Lucie County. And so earlier this year, they had an initiative to do 6 parks in 6 weeks, and it was a series of walking groups that people could sign up for, and each on a weekend morning for 6 weeks, they would meet in a different park. And it was, again, just another way to get people out, build community, get them more physically active, but also get them to kind of explore and see the different parks that they might have in their community that they may not even have ever been to or known were there. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you for listening. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, this is Mike here, and I'm with Sharon too. She was adding those comments about her experience working, doing nutrition education with walking clubs. But if anyone has any questions for Angelika, feel free to type them in. In the meantime, and thank you, Angelika, I'm gonna build upon what she said a little bit, specifically on the Park RX. And again, this is really important for the staff in the counties, that you guys have the connections and that can bring these pieces together and bring this to your public health coordinator for assistance in between that collaboration with the staff who are doing the direct education and know the partners very well and see them every week. Bring that and making those pieces fit and bring that to your public health coordinator would be a great way to get rolling on some of these park programs. Now, I'm going to share my screen here.
Yes, you want to share.
And there we go. Okay. All right, so if you guys want to note this website and write it down, it's parkrx.org. With the idea here being that a healthcare provider, but this could be something for F&P to consider too, is writes a prescription to a client or a patient to visit a park for exercise. And that's just, you saw Angelika's example, what it can look like. And so this website's going to walk you through a lot of the pieces here. So you can see the health benefits, for example, mental and physical, and then case studies. And then here are the toolkits and webinars. So this is something, as we dive into it, that your public health coordinator can help you out with. So I want to share this website. I'm going to be brief about this, but take a closer look, see if it's something that would fit in your county with the partners that you already work with, and how we can better integrate F&P programming in parks. And I'm going to leave it at that, and if Sharon or Angelika have anything to add, feel free.
So I think this is a wonderful idea. I know that in, I think the Florida State Park has been doing some RXs too. So I think this is a great opportunity for F&P to link with the healthcare personnel in their counties to help to fulfill our mission of helping to reduce obesity and reducing the risk of chronic disease.
And that's a good point that Sharon brought up. So usually the pieces here would be a Parks and Rec department who agrees to market their parks, and then a healthcare provider who would provide the prescription. And, we can be that link there and make sure our nutrition education programming is included in that piece too. Let me see, can we get back to the, 1 second here. Okay. I can wait. Angelika and I can wait for any questions if you guys want to type them in or ask them via the microphone that you guys have at your computers. Or you're welcome to email any of us. And again, I highly encourage you to talk with your public health coordinator in your county if this is something that would work. I see Eva there. Yes, absolutely. And so there's, I hope this was useful, and I think as we go about thinking about this every day out in our jobs about how these pieces fit, that'll really be the catalyst to starting some of these programs.
And this is Angelika here, and just to add with the Park RX, I think one kind of incentive for a medical provider to get involved in the program is that they can be listed on the Parks and Rec website. So your Parks and Rec agency will probably have a list if they're doing a website dedicated to RX for Parks where they can actually list who's participating. So it's great marketing for the provider, and I believe that there may even be a possibility for them to personalize the prescription pads with their information. So just like you always have your doctor's information on the top of the prescription pad that they're giving you, it's the same way. So again, it's just another opportunity for them to promote themselves and market themselves as part of this program.
Absolutely. And I want to just thank Angelika one more time, and feel free to reach out to us, as I said, and Sharon has some experience too that I think is valuable. So we'll leave it at that, and if you have any questions, email us or call us, and we'd love to get this going in more counties. Thank you.
And thank you, Mike and Sharon, for your input, and everyone for listening today. Have a great day and a great weekend.
And we thank you, Angelika and Mike, for providing this information. Thanks.
Thanks.